Oh, we're live now.
Oh, we're live?
All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone.
No.
I'm Elise from Wistia. These are our lovely guests from IndieWhip. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
And we have, from left to right, we have Brian, Paul, Chandler, and Whiskey here. I'm personally really excited to hear what Whiskey has to say about video production and strategy. I'm sure you guys are as well. I am coming to you live from the Wistia studio. And yeah, I just wanted to kick things off and introduce these guys. I'm going to go away for the rest of the AMA, so you don't have to look at me and you get to talk to them. But if you have any questions, post them as comments in the thread below. Oh my gosh, so many dogs. This is so exciting. We should do a dog-only AMA sometime, I think. But yeah, keep those comments coming in, and I will be back at around 3:30 to shut it down. So have fun, guys.
Cool. Thanks, Elise.
Thanks, Elise.
So,
All right.
should we just
Hey, everybody.
should we just start from the first question and go down,
Sure.
and then attack the ones that are coming in right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So from Elise, or no, wait, from Sarah.
First of all, we're IndieWhip, by the way. We are a film, motion graphics, vision, advertising company, if you will. And we're very excited that you guys are joining us here. And we got a ton of questions. We're going to answer as many as we can. And we're going to go offline afterwards and answer the rest of them so we can make sure everyone gets the answers they're looking for. There's a lot of great questions. Some of them might take a little bit longer to answer. So we've prioritized the easy ones for now on video, and we'll do the harder ones later online. So thank you. All right, Brian, you want to kick it off?
Okay, so Sasha Fierce, kicking things off. How many
That's Elise, Francis.
Wait, what?
That's Elise.
Sasha Fierce.
Elise.
Elise.
Has asked us,
What is that?
how many clients do we usually have going on at one time? How do we juggle different projects? And when do we know to say no? So, you know, historically, we probably do about four or five projects at any given time. You know, in a slow period, there'll probably be one bridging another gap of 4 or 5 on either side. And I think Paul can speak to, you know, how we juggle the different projects, because Paul handles all of our management of clients and production.
It's really about the whole process. So making sure that we're nailing down pre-production, production, and post-production. And we kind of all do that as a team. It also has to do with the project management, the client management, which is all done in-house. I mean, we pretty much do everything in-house. You just got to make sure to get all your ducks in a row to make sure all the processes are in place and that everybody knows what they're doing. We try to shy away from any one project management software because we feel as if the best is to not have one. And we've kind of learned from trial and error from that. And instead we just stick to meetings, just meetings at the beginning and end of every day.
Cool. And the last part is how to say no to clients. And I think that
Let's not say no to something. So that could be
say no to something. So, you know, problem clients do happen. You know, when you're running a company that has multiple projects going on, you need to evaluate these situations on a case-by-case basis and weigh the cost benefit of, you know, dealing with a certain client's requests or not. You got to do it in real time and just make an educated business decision whenever you can to push forward and make sure you're not overextending yourself or not. So cool.
And last piece on that, sometimes when it comes to revision things and how to say no is you need to make sure you've built a good rapport with that client too and that they trust your decisions, because if they don't trust it, you say no, it's not going to really end well.
Cool.
Elise Courier asked, how do you make space for your own creativity and style across client projects? First thing we do is we hide our logo in every video.
Yeah, it's a long-standing IndieWhip tradition. We've been hiding our logo in pretty much every single client project we've done. And no one's ever gotten mad about it. In fact, a lot of our clients actually look for it. And our VFX artist, Mike, has done some of the best hiding of our logos of all time. We've done things as obvious as Gillette Stadium and on the billboard. And then we've done things as mysterious as frosting in a cake. That was in one of our videos.
You put one on somebody's belt buckle while you too.
Yeah. It's cool because it kind of presents a challenge to him every time to try to hide it better and better in every video or more obvious.
So to answer the real question, it's not really our creativity and style across projects. You know, we don't want to put our stamp on it because it's not about what we think is what we like. It's honestly about what that project needs. You know, not every client needs flat design. Not every client needs 3D and flames and Motley Crue as background music. So it's like, what does that project need? This is the style. This is the audience. This is the market. That kind of dictates all of that stuff. So Chris, video producer. In a digital era, what does it mean to brand yourself as a film company? Can you explain the distinction and your decision to use that word?
Cool.
Chris, so we're moving away from executing projects, meaning that we're moving away from the idea of just trying to do as many projects as possible in the smallest amount of time, just to get clients under our belt and get, you know, revenue going. And we're moving more towards coming up with the ideas, producing them, and branching out from the story into other digital assets and trying to help our clients more so with their strategy, their marketing, their advertising, and anything that we can do, but using that video as a baseline.
Yeah. I think, you know, when we first started off, a lot of people would get in touch with us and say, hey, I have this idea for video. Can you guys do it? And obviously when you're starting off, you take any job you can get and it's like, sure, we can do that. And we're moving away from being the people that just make the video. And now we're the team that creates the ideas and then we make the video. Which has kind of helped our business a little bit, kind of shape who we are. You know, we actually have people hire us just to create concepts, and then, you know, it's up to them to move forward with us on production or not. You know, 99% of the time they do because we do that and we like doing it. So that's kind of how we're positioning moving forward. And then, like Paul said, from the video outwards towards more digital visual stuff.
Marty, say your client is
Marty.
a management and IT consulting company and they hire you to make a marketing piece showing how awesome they are. How do you come up with interesting visuals when most of what they do is sit in meetings and write code and create project plans on their computers? Whiteboards and conference rooms get boring pretty fast.
This is an interesting one because we've actually had a management and IT type company that is one of our great clients, and they came to us with an idea about something that they had no idea how to make it cool. So what we ended up doing is we created a character that everyone could kind of relate to, but everyone also didn't want to be this guy, and this guy kind of explain different mundane tasks of HR management and different marketing management and stuff like that. So people were like, they're enjoying watching this kind of humor and these scenes play out, which we used a lot of the people in their office as some of the actors and stuff. But they also it was kind of like an instructional video cloaked in this narrative that we created. We had fun with it, and the people on the team at the company had fun with it too because they were part of the creation process. And they didn't feel like they were just farming a video out. It was like they were actually being able to be creative to help their job be better in the end.
I think we're also pretty good at persuading clients to step outside of their comfort zone, and you know, they only see ideas in terms of what they have in front of them, and we try to bring an outside perspective to make the video more entertaining, more effective, more enjoyable. You know, regardless of what client it is, whether it's a brand or a company or a product or anything like that. Cool.
You doing this one?
So yeah, so Sam asks, what have you found has been your unique selling prop, and how has that played into working with some of the clients, and do we have a story that exemplifies this? I would say our unique selling proposition kind of is an organic growth of our reputation and our portfolio. A lot of people hear about some of the things that we've done and some of the cool and funny things and creative things that we've come up with. And I think a lot of people like to, you know, they want that. And so when they come to us, they say, hey, I saw that video you made for Project Repat and it made me cry. We want that. We want you to make our audience cry. So it's kind of been like an organic thing where people ask us to create some of the same reactions and feelings that they got from other videos that we've done. So I think I just answered the entire question.
I can elaborate a little bit on something. And like, we did a project for Harvard Business Review, and they sent us a story, and we sent back like what we thought about it and their market and all this stuff. And they sent us a message back being like, whoa, we've never had somebody come back and tell us all these different changes, why we should do them, and XYZ. They usually just have people send them a quote and like, this is what's going to take to get it done. We're like, well, we want to make sure that this is going to be exactly what you need before we give you budgets and stuff. Quick
question. This just came in. Scott, is the guy in the middle wearing pants? Unfortunately, yes.
Got pants on.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be much more comfortable if I wasn't, but Yeah.
I think
I am.
Derek might not be.
Derek might not be wearing pants, but
All right,
For another
so
time.
Valerie Satula, I'm wondering if you have any recommendations for developing a good pre-production story plan when you're just starting out with video. Yeah, definitely. When you kind of have an idea, you need to sit down and you feel like, okay, how do I want this idea to feel? Go watch videos on Vimeo and YouTube of things that you think kind of are in line with that idea. Listen to songs and music beds, and kind of start putting together your tone, so that way you can put across to the client or whatever, your friend, what the tone of the video is going to be. And then you start writing an outline of the video. Use note cards. We use note cards a lot. We put them up on a whiteboard, and we'll write out the different scenes on the note cards, and we can like move the scenes around, see how it works. Just be able to have everyone in the room stand back and see the high level view of everything in the video. Make sure everyone's always on the same page. But having pieces to show people so they know, oh, this is the way I want it to be, the pacing, or this is how I want the music to happen. This is kind of an example that helps people a lot too.
Yeah, in our discovery phase that we do before every project, we put together the storyboard, the project plan, the script, the shot list, and everything. And we're trying to get as visual as possible when we explain these things. So we have like some, these are drawn storyboards. You can see them on our website. We have like really detailed, awesome drawings by our artist Josh. And basically, we want to package everything that we're going to do for them as visual as possible before we get into heavy production, so that way there's no surprises or hiccups along the way in actual production.
If the client doesn't know exactly what they're going to be getting, then we didn't do a good job of pre-production.
Yeah.
So there should be no questions by the time you get there. And that's just, pre-production is the hardest part of the video, and it always will be.
also make sure to really focus on sign-off points. Make sure that the client fully understands everything that you're presenting them, that they have a full grasp on everything, what everything means, just pretty much anything you can to make it kind of fail-proof for them, so that, again, that there's a complete understanding. So like Chandler said, there's no hiccups.
Zach, what kinds of projects do you find yourselves working on most? As a video production company, do you feel that it's better to work in a niche of the market, such as only tech commercials or only weddings, etc.? Or would you say it's better to be more general and work on any and all types of video projects? I think it depends on your skills, your skill level, who's on your team. You know, you can't do 3D motion design if you don't have a 3D guy. If you can't do tech commercials if you're not tech savvy at all. It kind of comes down to who you are. If you're the best at making wedding videos, keep making wedding videos and figure out how do you be the best at that and how do you revolutionize whatever you're doing there.
Definitely takes some exploration to see what you A, are good at, and B, what you like doing. You know, there's some typical types of projects like Head and Shoulders interview videos that sure we're good at. Do we like doing them? You know, they're okay. But you know, it's finding what you like and kind of moving in that direction. And I think that just comes with time and portfolio building and figuring out what you're good at.
This next one's good. It's from Kevin. I'm sure this is a question a lot of people get when they're starting a company or trying to start their own or something along those lines. Were you guys able to work on IndieWhip full-time prior to its launch, or were you devoting time outside of a 9-to-5 towards its completion? You have a friend going through the latter situation. Do you have any tips on how to stay on target, focused, and effective with time management without ODing on caffeinated beverages? You're always going to OD on caffeinated beverages, no matter what. But before this, Brian and I we just quit our jobs just to take a complete risk to start the company. So we had 9-to-5s, but we pretty much quit them just to kind of get this going. And we had a few ideas kind of floating around, and then we met Chandler, and Chandler helped us kind of refine everything. Instead of being so broad, we were like, we're just going to stick to video production.
And that's kind of the last question, Yeah. We're not web developers. Let's just stick to doing video.
I think when we had our first conversation, I was really interested. I had a previous agency that did digital, like websites and iPhone apps and, software type stuff. And when I met these guys, they were telling me about their company they're starting. And on their business card, I think you guys had like video, SEO, print, like all these things. Yeah. It was a wide net. And I think we're just like, let's focus on one thing. Let's do it really well. And, Brian has all the video knowledge, and we just kind of went from there. I would say if you're going to start a company like this, definitely don't quit your 9-to-5 unless you have some traction going. We were fortunate enough to be client funded. We landed our first project with GY&K agency in New Hampshire, like 2 days after we all decided that we were going to do this. We had a portfolio from Brian's existing work, and we just kind of went from there. We were very, very lucky and fortunate, and we owe it all to a lot of people that made that first project happen. You guys know who you are. And yeah, that's kind of
in the real world answer to that, make sure you have little to no debt and that your credit cards are paid off. That's important.
As for staying on target and focused, that's kind of tough.
If you're quitting your job and you're focused on something else, then
you're pretty much
it's just like hyper focused.
Stick to your day
Organically
job.
comes when you quit your job and you're like, it's either ride or die.
It's really hard to have a plan at first because things can go drastically in so many different directions.
All right. Bradley Boardman, is there a simple way to get my script up so I can look at the camera without having someone else involved to whip through flashcards? Is a teleprompter of some sort my only recourse? Is there software I can use to scroll stuff on my monitor? I know this is a newbie question, but thought you might ask quickly. Okay, there's a million answers to this. You can use cue cards like Conan, or you can use a teleprompter. You could rent it. That could be anywhere from $100 to $300 a day. You can use an iPad, put it next to the camera. If you're far enough away from the camera, you won't be able to see it as much. The tighter the lens you use, the more prominent the eyes moving left and right will look. So try to use a wider lens if you're not going to use a teleprompter, and put a screen next to it. My first teleprompter years ago, I built out of an old Dell computer screen that I just laid on a stool. I took some cardboard, I cut some like diagonal side panels, went to Lowe's, had them cut out a piece of glass that was on an angle, and then I just put some black felt over it and put it in front of the camera, and I ran it off a computer from a text document. It was the crudest, and you can find a lot of tutorials on YouTube that can do this. I did it for about $25 with the monitor that I had laying around. It was a piece of junk, and the teleprompter was awesome.
Cool. Next question is from Space Runner. Basically, it's a long question, but he wants to know if a brand should maintain some sort of stylistic similarities between videos. We had a couple different answers to this one. This one was going to be a little bit longer, but we tried to shorten it down. My response to keeping videos of different styles similar is it all depends on the campaign. You'll see a brand like Coca-Cola will have different campaigns that look and feel different, but there'll be the similarities between all the videos. Obviously, the Coke branding, color, and style. And, you know, Brian mentioned title cards, colors and fonts, and those types of things to keep things consistent. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pretty straightforward question. Some brands might not want to have every video look and feel the same, but they wouldn't be building a brand if they did that approach. We've seen it done before, but it's not common. A lot of our videos.
It definitely adds to a level of professionalism with smaller companies too, when every video has a consistent look. It just helps build the brand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you have branding guidelines, it's kind of good to start from there. And if you don't, then this might be a really good time to start developing them.
Yeah. Well, we've done that for people.
Yeah.
They didn't really have much, and we kind of like, hey, we made you some logo reveals, some lower thirds. This is like a font. We've even come up with logos by accident for products and stuff. And yeah, it's cool. So next question, how do you handle communicating to a client what they will get? Clients never seem to understand a concept until they see the actual video. That's a very good question. And for us, if our client has any question about everything, like if they don't know about what's going to happen before we get into production, then we haven't done our job right. So between storyboards and sending over inspiration videos, inspiration music, and script, and having them sign off and everything, going through all the feedback, do all of that so that when we go into production, they know exactly what's happening. Okay? Then there should be no questions after that. I mean, there'll be revisions of how things look and cutting and all that stuff. But they should know exactly what the story is and just find out, you know, even if it's just coming down to taking pictures out with your camera of their location, showing, hey, we're going to do a scene here, scene here. There's many different ways to do storyboards. You don't have to be this amazing artist.
Leave no stone unturned.
Yeah,
when
really,
it comes to communicating what a client's going to get.
Learn to use a script writing software or do it in Google Docs and be as detailed as you can about everything that's going to be happening on screen.
Yeah. So you don't often get the chance to shoot something twice because it takes time and money to do so. So it needs to be perfect.
If anybody's joining us kind of late, it all comes back to actually a previous question about just making sure that the client has a full and complete understanding of what's going on. So,
Jared, your question is, have you ever had to tell a client that their idea for a video is bad?
We talked about this before the call and before this chat, and I think the whole purpose of being a professional marketer and advertiser is that there's no such thing as a bad idea. You just have to take their good idea and make it great. And you want, Brian said something that was really awesome, is you got to make the client feel like they're participating in the metamorphosis of their idea to what you really want to make.
Inception.
You know, luckily we get hired with trust. So people, you know, kind of give us the free rein to do what we'd like to do. But to the people that are either on the client's team, or maybe you deal with someone that needs their input in certain points in projects, it's all about just making them feel like they're kind of contributing to it. So I would never tell someone their idea is bad. It's just, how can we make their idea better or great?
And to go to a previous point, as far as all the pre-production stuff, without telling what's bad, fire back with a bunch of stuff as to how you think you can make it better, and how can you make it more in line with their audience, their market, and stuff like that, and give them plenty of fodder, for lack of a better word, to help them see your vision for their stuff.
And the bigger picture of that is that in the end, they'll know that all you were really trying to do is establish trust with them and make sure that their time and money was well spent.
Yeah, I mean, we want to make the best video possible for the money that people are spending. So, you know, if an idea comes across our plate that's we feel isn't the best idea, we'll do whatever we can to make that happen.
Otherwise, I mean, we're not really into wasting clients' money.
Yeah.
That's something that we make very clear at the beginning. We don't want to make them a video that we feel is not going to do anything for them when they can allocate those assets to something that can really benefit them. And again, that's just trust, respect, all this stuff comes. Is this another? Oh no, Jamie. If a client requests that a certain aspect be added to a video that you think is in bad taste or will clash with the overall feel of the video, how do you respond? We actually, it's actually happened in a creative meeting today.
Yeah.
It's this video about security and health and sentiment, and they wanted to throw something about social media in it, and it just kind of was totally out of left field. It didn't really fit the tone of the video. So rather than coming back to them and saying we don't like that, we're coming back to them with a bunch of ideas on how to somehow work that in there, but not make it as apparent, and to keep the tone and the emotion of the video. It all comes down to just like sitting there and really thinking about it, and maybe take some time, go back to it, because the first thing you're going to say is, no, I don't want that.
It's important to be able to back yourself up. Otherwise, the clients are going to take that in a negative manner, and you want to just pretty much be able to turn anything into a positive.
Yeah.
Well said.
Jared, how do you deal with this introductory question from clients? How much does a video cost?
How much does a video cost?
$10 million.
Exactly. All right, moving on. That question is like one of my favorite questions to ever be asked, because that's like asking, you know, how much does it cost to go on vacation? Are you going on vacation down the street, or are you going across the world on an epic adventure? It really depends. And without any information, we can only give a ballpark. And, you know, it's I hate saying that with zero information. You can say, oh, it can cost you from $0 to $1 billion, and that doesn't help anybody. But if we have some information about what needs to get done, we can talk about it internally and figure out what kind of shoots were similar. And we have a proprietary pricing tool that we use to figure out exactly what we need to be charging to make projects work and be efficient and healthy.
So knowing how much it costs them to do this, so how much it costs you to produce a video, to shoot, to edit, all that stuff, that'll help you with your So how do you Comnio. What are your thoughts on Whiteboard explainer videos from a purely marketing perspective? Are they more effective at communicating a product or service than a first-person story or narrative from our co-founders? Well, there's two things. I mean, it kind of depends on the budget. A Whiteboard video is very easy to shoot, very quick. The longevity of it is not the greatest because people aren't going to really be captivated by a Whiteboard video. So my main question is, what would you rather watch? Would you rather watch a Whiteboard video, or would you rather watch a narrative that is explaining things to you and it's kind of it has a little more to it? So you got to put yourself as the viewer for a second, and that will help you kind of think about it. Like, what would you rather watch?
Yeah, there's also, I mean, a lot of trends are kind of overdone. We've seen a lot of those, you know, those startup-y videos that have that piano and like finger snapping. Yeah, everyone has those types of videos, and our job is to move people away from that into something that's new and different that people actually get eyeballs on and talk about and share and be engaged with. So Brian said it best. What would you rather watch? It's a good one.
We had a question come in from Austin Saylor. To anybody who doesn't know, we just launched a brand new website, and leading up to that, we had a campaign to see who could destroy our previous website the best, and Austin Saylor was the winner. Congrats, Austin. He had a really cool one.
From the live audience?
Yeah, from the live audience. We'll post that afterwards, actually. Austin, one of your questions I think was kind of answered. I don't think we're going to become so much a specific type of company, like only working with startups and tech giants. You know, we like to work with anybody pretty much. But I think your more important question is, would we rather be chased by 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Oh, wait. Can we talk about this for a second before you just go and answer this? 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Can we ride the horse-sized duck?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, like a
Definitely.
wild Mustang, we can get chased by, but then we can tame it.
Horse-sized duck. I don't know about these guys.
No, I think we can answer.
That was an awesome question, Austin. And I think, you know, for us, we're definitely in a transition phase in our company. I mean, as you saw with our rebrand, you know, our old website was very much, hey, we make videos and we do corporate things and we do this and that. And our new website tells a much different story about, we're here to tell stories and we want to tell the best stories and we want to tell, you know, the things we want to talk about and show and make the things that people want to see and get engaged with. And then the conversation doesn't stop there. It's now what do we do from there? So we're getting into a lot of paid media. We're getting a lot of extensive advertising campaigns. For example, one of our clients, Project Repat, they make t-shirt quilts and they're based in Boston. They're an awesome team. And we've really got a solid bromance with them. And they've had us, you know, start off by making a video, which is great. Always, you know, good entry-level project, get in on the ground floor. And now we're working with them on, you know, quarterly big projects. We're managing their media, buying and advertising and putting together a lot of paid search campaigns and things like that. So we like we said earlier, we start with that one thing, that one story that we told for them, and then we're kind of growing outwards, and we're going to see where that takes us in terms of a team. And I think it's brought in some awesome people. We brought in some really cool talent to help facilitate that, and it's been great.
Overlap. You're a producer director in Los Angeles. Where's the best place to find enthusiasm, prefer to develop young talent? Call your local rental houses because they're always going to have people calling in there looking to work. And then call film schools, call the career services because, again, you're going to find people that want to do this now. Craigslist hasn't really panned out. I've tried that. You don't really find great people. You just find people that are just trying to, like, fill their time. Yeah, so try rental houses. We actually just worked with a rental house yesterday that provided some young people. And they were awesome.
Excellent.
So,
if you're in the Boston area, what are they called? Fast Lights?
well, high up. So I mean,
yes.
yeah. Well, he's in LA.
Oh, yeah, true.
So,
But somebody tuning in might be from the Boston area.
so last question on this right here. So, call your local. Oh wait.
That was your answer.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
where I wrote my answer. Oh, never mind.
Cool. What's is there another
Any
question on
ones?
there? Or is that the last one on the list there?
Are there any new ones I can?
Just it's like some Austin sailor guy asked another question. It's,
I think, you know, we have a couple minutes left. I think just to wrap it up, I think that in terms of filmmaking and marketing in general, being creative yourself and opening yourself up to new things is really important. We recommend watching as many movies as you can when you have time, TV shows, music and art and all those things. And don't just look at it for what you like it for. Look towards the cool aspects of it that you might not have noticed before. You know, after being in this business for industry for 2 years, I had no prior experience in video. Now I watch a movie and I appreciate shot movement, color, grading, sound design, all those things that now I can watch things for a second and third time and have a better appreciation for it and have that inspire me, Paul, and Brian to produce better and come up with more creative things. I don't know if you guys want to add to
Whenever
that
anyone
last little bit.
whenever anyone kind of gives you feedback on something, and you know everything is technically constructive criticism, and you got to remember when somebody gives you feedback and you're like, oh well, you know nothing about design. Well, who are you designing for? Are you designing for designers, or are you designing for the people that aren't designers? So you want it to look good. So there's a fine line you got to dance, and so you just gotta don't get mad when people kind of give you criticism or feedback. Try to take it and figure out how to help make you grow as a designer or a videographer or what have you.
Hey, Elise, before we jump off, do you want us to bring some of the guys over and have them say hi? I know they were dying to get on camera.
I do.
Yo, guys.
Yeah.
Also,
Anthony,
Josh,
is Mike here? Derek, Josh?
you guys want to come over here real quick?
really quick,
Mike and
we
Derek.
are going to be at Wistia Fest. Chandler and I are going to be running a workshop on running a video business, and
Yeah.
Brian is going to be running one on post-production.
You don't need to bring a chair. It's about to end.
It's my chair.
Mike's sharing over.
Oh, is that
Oh,
George?
Hey guys.
What's going
there's
on?
Bentley. There's another dog.
We have another. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Bentley.
Wait, you guys have so many dogs at the office.
First dog out here. I have a little white dog. It's like
Yeah.
this big.
Oh. Oh my God. Bring all the dogs in. All the dogs. All the
We
dogs.
have more dogs than employees.
All right, this is Anthony. He's a designer. Mike, he's our VFX artist and compositor, and he also edits. Nick is our web developer and graphic designer / marketeer. Josh,
Marketing guru.
our storyboard right here is our storyboard artist. He also helps with a lot of things. He's actually in the back building a set in our warehouse for a commercial coming up.
Nice.
But
And we have a crew that we use frequently, DPs that we use, lighting guys and grips, and sound guys that aren't here right now. But yeah, we just wanted everyone to say hi and thank these guys and the team for helping us make awesome work, and they're the masterminds of what we do. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hey, and on that topic, actually, to the people who are watching right now, comment below in the thread if you would be interested in seeing another AMA with one of these guys, specifically about a certain topic. So, Chandler, you were mentioning how many other people you have on a shoot, and it would be really cool to hear exactly about what that process is like. Or if you're interested in having an AMA specifically on visual effects stuff, putting you guys in the back there on the spot. But if you ever want to do that, I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Brian knows a lot about food too. If anyone wants to ask him any
Yeah.
questions.
Yes.
I do a good amount of teaching.
You can do
so-
dog training, and I think we get a lot of these questions about the business operation stuff and how we built this into a company and rather than a hobby, and we'd be happy to talk about that too. I mean, so many things. Feel free to ask us. And again, at least we're going to try to answer as many of these questions on the text line, on the computer internet thing,
the World Wide Web.
the World Wide Web as best we can. So thank
Black
you
hole.
for all the people that hung out. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks guys for coming. We're going to turn off now, but if you're coming to Wistia Fest, you will see all of these guys there. So see you next time.
Get ready.
Bye.